Type the word friendship into Google and you will be amazed at what you can find. Listen to some of the definitions that I found. So C.S. Lewis, he defines friendship as, friendship is born at that moment when one person says to another, "What? You too? I thought I was the only one." There are also a few lighter ones than that, like this. A true friend is one who overlooks your failures and tolerates your successes. Or you can go even lower than that to one that you'd see almost on a greeting card. Like, if you love a friend, let them go. If they come back with coffee, it was meant to be. And I think for all of us who drink coffee, I think we can all agree how true that is. Or this one, there is nothing better than a friend unless it's a friend with chocolate. And I mean, that's actually pretty accurate. Or this one, my personal favorite. Friends come and go like the waves of the ocean, but the true ones, they stay like an octopus on your face. So that's some of what Google defines friendship as. And some of that may be true for you and your friends, but some of it also may not. But let's actually explore a bit more about why it matters who our friends are. So Proverbs 13 verse 20, it says, "Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm." So according to that verse, it seems that one factor determines how your life turns out, and that's with who you choose to walk it with. And this proverb, it works very closely with this idea of show me your friends and I'll show you your future. This is a very true statement, and because our friends, they have a massive impact on who we are, but also who we become. Often even more than we realize. A wise person is one who seeks God and godly knowledge and applies it to life. If you tuned in last week, you would have heard that wisdom is the skill of living well. And on the other side, a fool is one who rejects God and pursues their own path. So the first part of that verse, it says, walk with the wise and become wise. So Proverbs 13 verse 20 is saying, listen to the wise people in your life. Make sure that they are influencing you. It doesn't matter who we are, we all need to surround ourselves with people who will encourage and build us up in our faith. We should be wanting to walk alongside wise people who follow God, love Him, worship Him, know His word, and try to live according to it by His grace. Because who we surround ourselves with has a huge influence on who we become. Now, in saying that, I'm definitely not meaning we can only have Christian friends. And I don't want you thinking that's what I'm saying at all. But we need to be careful about who is speaking into our life. We need to be cautious that the people that are influencing us have hearts focused on Him, His word, and His wisdom. If you walk with wise people, then you'll become wise. It won't happen immediately, but over time you'll learn to grow in wisdom, both from this person, but also their examples. The second part of this verse, it says, for a companion of fools suffers harm. So we are living in a very tough time right now. We have COVID, climate change, terrorist attacks, and so many other terrible things in this very broken world. And I'm not a doctor, but I have it on pretty good authority that a contagious disease can easily spread from one person to another by being in contact or by being near an infected person. And our bad cold or COVID, it can be easily contagious. And for that reason, we try to stay away from people with those diseases. We do not want to catch what they have. And in a similar way, fools are contagious. Their foolish actions and thinking are easily passed on to those who are constantly around them. If we surround ourselves with people who have foolish actions and thinking, then it is very likely we will suffer harm. Now this harm, it could be earthly harm, but it could also very easily be eternal. As I've been reflecting on the words of Proverbs 13 verse 20, I've been struck with the story of Rehoboam in 1 Kings chapter 12. So Rehoboam, he was a son of King Solomon, one of the wisest people in the Bible. And once Solomon died, Rehoboam became king. And the people of Israel, they sent Jeroboam to go and ask Rehoboam to reduce labor because they were working so much, especially under Solomon. So Rehoboam, he consulted the elders who told him, be favorable with the Israelites. But he didn't really like that advice that much. And so he decided to ask his mates, the ones that he grew up with, who said, you know what you should say to them? If you thought it was hard under Solomon, wait to see how hard it's going to be under me. And that's exactly what he did. He rejected this wise advice and listened to his foolish friends. And that caused the Israelites to rebel. The irony of this all is that that Proverbs was written by Solomon for his son Rehoboam. So ironic. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. We can learn from this mistake that Rehoboam made. He made a wise choice by listening to the elders, but he rejected that wisdom and listened to his foolish friends. And we may have people in our life like Rehoboam's friends, but we need to be listening and walking with those wise people in our life so that we don't suffer harm. It can have a very big impact on how we actually turn out. One writer sums up this proverb very nicely by saying that according to this proverb, close friends are more deeply connected than we might think. We end up being deeply affected by either the wisdom or the foolishness of our friends. Choosing the right friends is like putting together your own personal development team. It will greatly enhance our efforts in moving forward on the right path. And our friends, they have a massive impact on us. So we need to be careful about who's around us, who's influencing us. And that doesn't mean don't ever spend any time with anyone who doesn't believe in the Bible or doesn't follow Jesus. Because the truth is, we are constantly around people like that. Whether that's at work, school, our neighborhoods, exercise, whatever it might be that you do, we are constantly around people who are not following Jesus. But we should be wanting to be salt and light in this broken world. We should want to be in real, meaningful relationships where we are pointing others towards God and showing God's love in those relationships. Now, this is a proverb that I know has been shared in my family. When my mum was in intermediate school, she started to get mixed up with the wrong crowd. And my grandparents, they started to notice this change in her behavior because of who she was around. So my granddad told my mum this proverb: walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. He gave her this as a warning about what can happen when you associate with foolish people and let them influence you. And I think this idea is very true, that if you show me your friends, I will show you your future. My grandparents saw what her friends were like and knew that if she continued to hang out with them, that she would suffer harm. And I'm very thankful that my mum decided to find some better friends who would help her become wise and encourage and build her up in her faith. It helped her to become who she is today. And this same advice, it was passed on to me as well. I had some foolish friends in high school, and I'm very thankful that my mum shared her experience with me. It helped me see that if I continue to walk with these friends, that I was going to suffer harm. And I'm very thankful that as I look around now at my friends, that I am practicing what this proverb is saying by walking with wise people. Now, I think almost everyone listening will agree the importance of this for our youth and young people. In fact, I've already shared a similar message with our intermediates at Mania. But I would argue that this is also really important for a young married couple. And if that's you, who is influencing you and helping you towards a healthy and God-honoring marriage? Or maybe you're a parent of a teenager, and you might be sitting there thinking, man, I really hope my young person is listening to this. And I definitely agree with you, but this is also really important for you. The friends that you have in this season of your life, in your 40s and 50s, it can help your continued commitment to Jesus. But this proverb, it's also important for retired people. And if that's you, do you have people in your life who are helping you to continue to grow in your faith and making sure that you finish the race here on earth well? Whatever stage of life we are in, this key idea applies to you. Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. Craig Rochelle says, we all have something we'd like to become. Maybe a better parent, a better student, a more solid Christian. But what if the decision to become that was really a decision about what friends you choose? Wise friends, they help you become wise, but you hurt yourself by being around fools. It's very hard to become wise if you're constantly around unwise people. So listen to the words of this proverb. Choose your friends wisely. It could help you become a better parent, a better student, a more solid Christian. And as we finish, just let me ask you guys a couple of questions. The first one is, as you look at your current circle of friends, would you say they are wise? Are they helping you live well and pursue God? Or are the people in your life ones who lack wisdom and aren't helping you grow in godly wisdom? The second question is, If you're lacking wise friends, how can you bring wiser people into your life? If you feel that your friends aren't wise and that you're lacking in godly wisdom, here at Grace City we have connect groups, and we would love to get you connected in with one. We also have a mentorship program where you can get someone who will walk alongside you in your faith journey. So make sure to let one of our hosts know if you would like to be connected into a group or you would like a mentor. We would love to help you find wiser friends. Or maybe at this time you just need to lean into those wise friendships and make sure that those are the people that are influencing you in this stage of your life. Your friends, they'll influence you, sometimes even more than we realize. So listen to the words of this proverb. Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future.